It's a Newnan Nugget kind of day, and today we are talking about the most magical of holidays, which I don't, good question. What is the most magical holiday? And I don't mean in the terms of like emotionally magical. I mean in terms of like magic is involved. Christmas has Santa, and he is just full of magic when you think about all the things he's able to. But the problem with Santa is there's so many different versions of how he does it. Like, does he shrink to fit into the chimney? Does he expand the chimneys? Does he have help? Does he freeze time? Like, what? There's so many different versions of Santa's magic and how it works. So it's hard to say that Christmas is more magical than Easter. Easter has, like, it's laid out. This is what happens. It is Jesus dies, and he comes back from the dead 3 days later, and we are forgiven for our sins. Magic. And that's not to say bad magic. It's not black magic. It's Jesus magic. I would argue that Easter is the most magical day of most magical holiday. And I come from a long history of celebrating Easter like crazy. We would do, when I was a kid in Sonoya, we would do like the what do they call it? Like the 6 a.m. church service where they go to like, and they pretend Jesus is coming back, and so they meet at the dawn service, and then we'd do church all day, and then the whole family would come over, we'd hide eggs. Like, Easter was a big deal for us. We do more on Easter than we do on, like, Thanksgiving, Halloween, 4th of July. Easter was not as big as Christmas, but Easter, I think Easter and Christmas, they go, like, they go ham, which is funny to say, because people eat ham on Easter, I think. I don't know. What is the food of Easter? Honey-baked ham? Is that honey-baked ham still in Newnan? I think so. I'm not going to look it up. Then I'll have to read the Google reviews and it'll turn into a whole thing. But this Easter was not as cool as it should have been. I am a divorced father. Hanley is a divorced father. And Easter this year, I didn't have my daughter because of the way the agreement is. And she didn't have her kids till way later in the day, so we couldn't do as much. I still went and saw my kid, brought her a skateboard, but we didn't have like a big day, an Easter egg hunt, and a big dinner and stuff. So Easter felt a little less magical this year. I still had a good day. I enjoy my family. I love my family. I gave Hanley an Easter basket. She gave me an Easter basket, and we enjoyed that. And I loved bringing the kids their Easter baskets. But it wasn't like what I'm used to of here's a full day experience of Easter. Let's wake up, let's go to church. I didn't even go to church. I didn't even go to church on Easter. So who am I? Who am I if you are mindful of me? That you hear me when I call. That's a song about Jesus. Is it true that you are thinking of me? How you love me? It's amazing. I am a friend of God. Look it up, y'all. It's called Friend of God. I am a friend of God. I am a friend of God. He calls me friend. I should stop complaining about Easter because really it wasn't. It was certainly not a bad day at all. We had a very busy full weekend, the girl and I. But it just wasn't like I wish all the families could have been together and we could have had like grandparents and stuff like that. That would have been cool. So, and I wish, looking back on it, I wish I would have gone to church Sunday morning because those Easter services, they go pretty hardcore. They're pretty fun. They do special stuff. I used to be part of a church that did Easter services and we made big deals and it was always such a big deal. When I worked at Community Christian Church, we'd have the service in the church and there'd be so many people expected to come that we'd also have a tent outside, a giant tent for a second, like for more people. And that was always, I don't think they do that anymore. I think that church went from having 3 services every day to now or not every day, every Sunday, to now having 2 services every Sunday. And I didn't see anything about the tent stuff. And I was there. We actually went to church. See, I'm throwing myself under the spiritual bus here. Soda. We went to church, but we went to church the week before because they had an Easter extravaganza at Community Christian Church in Sharpsburg, which this was my home church, as we talk about on the podcast. There's plenty of episodes where I talk about Community Christian Church. I even rank my churches, and you can see where it ranks in my all-time favorite churches that I was a big member of. But we went there, and they had blow-up houses, they had pizza, they had an egg hunt for the kids, and that when I think about what we got to do Easter celebrating, we got to celebrate Easter with all our kids and our family and got to eat together and got to do something really fun. We just did it the week before. And that's par for the course when you're divorced. Is you get all this time with the family. You still get the time, and you get your own time, you get your personal time. It gets halved and all that stuff. You just have to look at it. I'm looking at it wrong. I'm just being kind of gloomy about it. I'm looking at it wrong, though. I should look at it as, sure, it's not on the day. The holidays, when you're doing a split family like this, it's not gonna always be on the day. Christmas is gonna be different. Things are gonna be different. That's part of life. Things change. But I should enjoy the fact that we got to do anything at all. We got to go out, and my kid had such a good time, and Hanley's kids had such a good time doing the egg hunts and doing the fun things we did. We do fun things, we do fun activities, and we find ways to enjoy our time. So I need to be a little less gloomy about the fact that on Easter Sunday, it didn't feel like Easter, because it felt like Easter the week before, and like Christmas last year was super fun. I thought that I was going to be like, oh, this is so different. I don't know how I feel about it. And it was different. Of course it was different. That's what happens with life. Things become different. Nothing you're doing right now in life, my friends, my Heraldettes, nothing you're doing right now in life a year from now is going to feel the same. It's all going to feel different. So we just need to see it as different. Different is not bad. Different is not bad, y'all. And I just figured, I'm the first person to ever say that. Different is not bad. Different is different. And one of the things that was not different is the Newnan Police Department did their hiding eggs in downtown Newnan hunt. And I love it that they do this. I've never taken my kid to go and try and find the eggs because I hate failure and I know he wouldn't find it. But what they do is they hide an egg somewhere in downtown Newnan. They post a clue if you find it. Then they ask you to take a selfie and tag us, and then head on down to the police department and claim your prize. Please open the egg and follow the instructions. The eggs will be placed downtown around the Court Square area after 5:30 p.m. So they post their clue around like 5 o'clock, and then the thing gets hidden somewhere. And I love it. That was my insulin beeping. I'm sorry. And I just love that they do that. It's something, granted, again, I've not participated in it. It's one of those things I'm glad it happens. But I'm not gonna do it. Because going up to the police department and being like, yo, got an egg. What you got for me? I would be afraid they'd baton me in the knee. But here are some of the amazingly thought out clues that they did. They did. Here's one. Let's see if you can think of what it is. I hold flowers in my base and love to be watered. Where could that egg be? Here's another one. I'm green and soft where bunnies love to hop. My next clue is where you'll find a lot. Ooh, okay. Now, see, for us people with minimal education, that would be a flower pot and some grass. Here's another clue. Again, this is from the Newnan Police Department Facebook page. So if you are like, well, did they really do this? That's cool. Let me go find it out. Here we go. I stand tall, but I'm not a tree. I'm ready for a big splash, but I'm not a pool. My job is to fight fire, but I'm not a hero. That one's pretty good. Like, when you think about it, you can figure it out. Especially when it gets to my job is to fight fire, but I'm not a hero. But that one's a little bit better. That one's a little bit clever. And it is obviously a water fountain. That one's good. I like that one a lot. Let's see what else they did. Let's see what else. This is not it. I should have had every page pulled up. There's something sad. Here we go. Today's egg hunt clue. On a hot day, I give you a shady seat. Come sit here now to find what you seek. Huh. See, this sounds like an awning, like an umbrella, like something that you would sit under to get shade. But this one doesn't say. After the girl found it and came and got her prize, it just says, congratulations, she found today's egg, and there's a picture of a child holding a basket full of gifts. But that one actually, I'm assuming an umbrella, but I don't know. Oh, that's good. That's good. So I feel like I need to do something like that. I'm boring. I need to hide eggs. I think next year I'm going to hide an egg and put a mustache in it and just hide it. And this is what I always do when it comes to Harold, me being me, who I am, is I think, I should do big things. But then real life happens and it's so much work. Like I could be a symbol. Like they could put my Harold symbol up in the sky, a mustache, and I could show up there. But it's been a lot of work these last. How long's Harold been around? 5 years. We had COVID. I had a divorce. I'm in a serious relationship now. I have so many health issues. So I'm making excuses and being gloomy about the fact that I know I should do fun things like Harold Live, like I did one time, and it was a huge success. And I should post some songs, and I should post more videos, and I should hide eggs, and I should do the 4th of July parade. Like I know all these things. The problem is, and this is a problem about me personally, we're getting into my therapy session, which is what we love to do on this podcast, is I'm such a big daydreamer. I go to bed, and I lay there, and I get my little cellular, my iPhone 12 out, and I think, what all do I need to do this week? What do I need to do tomorrow? And I put all these things in there, and I schedule them for times. And I always do the things. But then when I wake up the next day, I'm like, wow, this is how I feel. I am going to do this stuff, but I'm less passionate. I am lacking, right now, I think the best way to put it is I am accomplishing all my things that I need to do. I'm making money. I'm being a dad, I'm being a boyfriend, I'm doing my chores, I'm going to the gym, I'm doing physical therapy, I'm going to all my doctor's appointment, I'm looking sexy as hell, I'm making hilarious jokes. But the passion for some of these things is waning. It's just I'm doing them because I'm supposed to, which I would say is probably what just being a human is you just do a lot of things because you got to. And then you get to have the passion in other areas. So that's another thing that I just realized. Passion doesn't have to be everything. I have passion about my family and Sweet Hanley and creative stuff. Love creative stuff. So it's okay that I don't have passion for doing physical therapy and going to the gym. Do I wish I was more excited about doing those things? Of course I do. I see people at the gym that are like, yeah, this is life. Drink my sweat. Suck on my tank top. And it's like, wow, what is a gym high? Because I've never had it. Maybe I'm not pushing myself hard enough, but I have a very specific regimen that I'm supposed... Regime? I think that's wrong, but I'm going to call it that. I have a very specific regime that I'm supposed to follow, and it's all lower back below focused. So I'm supposed to do things for my legs and my lower back. And so I follow a very specific set of exercise. I go to this thing, then this thing, and this thing, then do same three, which is not what they say to do at the gym. You're supposed to spread out the things you work on. But I am very specifically trying to fix my legs and my feet and my lower back. That is where my attention is focused right now, through physical therapy and through the gym. What does this have to do with Easter? Because Jesus was very focused on his physical health when he died. And he came back from the grave 3 days later. And then the Pope died, which is so selfish of him to try to take away attention from Jesus. I don't know how you guys feel about the Pope. I don't know. I'm going to leave you with this, because this is a Newnan Nugget, so we stay short. First, I'm going to let you know that our next episode, hopefully our next episode, but our 50th episode is coming up, a full-length episode, and we'll be sitting down with Hanley, which is the best way to celebrate anything, in my opinion, and based on the feedback I always get when I do podcast episodes with my lovely girl, it's that she is adored, and she makes everything better, which I agree, and we're going to talk about her birthday, we're going to talk about my birthday, we're going to talk about us, maybe we'll get into all her least favorite things about me. So I don't know. Can I do a podcast episode that's only 30 seconds long? That's not true. And I'm going to leave you with this other thing after that announcement. A poem. This is a reflective and hopeful poem about life changing and being different. Life moves like tides upon the shore, no day the same as one before. The winds may change, the skies may spin, but every loss holds growth within. The dreams we had in younger days might fade or twist in stranger ways, but new ones bloom where old ones fell, a quiet strength we know so well. A friend may leave, a path may bend, but every ending finds its end. And in the space of what once was, we find the room to just because. The things we feared, the tears we cried, all taught us how to turn the tide. And though we stumble, fall, and scar, we're still becoming who we are. So when the world feels upside down and joy wears unfamiliar gowns, just know that change is not decay. It's life inventing a new way. Thank you, ChatGPT.